My guest today is Robbie Furman, inventor of Lootles. They are lifelike lads and lasses, lumberjacks, librarians, literally limitless possibilities. And today he's going to help me answer the question, can I just make my own talk show? Yes! Apparently I can, and I just did. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dave Bren Show. My guest today, of course, is the amazing Robbie Furman. Hello, Robbie.
Hello there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming to join the show today. We're going to have a blast. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, not just Lootles. Robbie is a master educator and creator, and he's done all kinds of amazing fun stuff, and he's also had some interesting stories in his life, which he's thankfully going to share with us today. Before we get too deep into the show, I just want to thank you all for watching. I want to let you know that we've got merch for sale in all kinds of places. First of all, I want to let everybody know that if you want your very own, here, let's see if I can, if you want your very own Dave Bren Show sticker, whoop, 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 you can get them. I'm going to put the link down below for where you can get these stickers, and also your very own Pops trading card of me and the show. Where'd my show Pops trading card go? Oh, it's over here. Check it out that I got in the mail. I get such awesome, fun things from my pals. And one of those, I'm going to open a fresh pack here, ladies and gentlemen, for you on the show right now. This is from Pops Trading Cards, Jeremy Johnston, my good pal who made these for me. And I do want to say that I got very excited when I asked Jeremy to make a Pops Trading Card for the show and a sticker for the show. In fact, I got so excited that I asked him to produce them all before I had any money to be able to pay him for them. So I am still currently in debt to Jeremy, so please help me out. There we go. We've got me in this brand new pack right there. And ooh, who else did I get? I got Clayton James. Awesome. I got Katie Byrne. Ooh, I've been wanting one of these. I got an Edwarl Jackson.
Wow.
And I got Sammy Davis Jr. Okay, I wasn't expecting that one, but that's okay. I don't yet have a Robbie Furman, which is a real big bummer. I was hoping that one would be in there this time. But that's okay, Robbie. We'll get you next time.
Collector's item. They're collector's items.
Oh boy! And of course, out on my merch store, which is a whole separate link. So the stickers and the cards you can get at popstrading.com, I believe is the link. But I have T-shirts and of course, Dave Bren Show drinking cylinders. This one didn't come out to be a mug. Apparently, the delivery guy did not read the fragile on the side of the box. That's okay. If you hold it just right, you can pretend. All right. Well, that's enough of that nonsense. Robbie Furman, let's say hello to you, pal. Thanks for joining the show.
Thanks for having me.
How are you feeling today, buddy?
Today's a good day. I've been had a couple of crazy years of my health issues, but today is a great day.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. Last year I had a little bit of a hiccup. I had open heart surgery back in April of last year, so
Yikes.
that was a little surprise.
They closed it back up though, right? Where it's not open now anymore.
Oh yeah, I'm good now. I'm back to myself again. So anyway, but yeah, I'm feeling great. Living life large.
Awesome. And yeah, I hear you have, how many cats is it that you have over there?
So where I live right now, I'm living with my girlfriend. We foster 6 cats and we own 3 together. So there's 9 of the cats all together. So we are not 10. 10 makes you the crazy cat people. So we're right, I didn't know that was the limit. That's it. We're 9 is okay. That's normal.
You have 1 cat for each of their lives. So
that's very good. That's right.
That's 81 lives though. That's a lot. Yikes.
Yeah. I'm not good with math. I mean, I heard that 4 out of 3 people are bad with fractions, so I'm probably one of those. I don't know how I fit in, but yeah.
Awesome. So I want to talk a little bit. I want to hear some fun stories from you, but I also want to talk a little bit about some of the like the balloon education stuff that you are known for, stuff that has, I mean, massively impact my own life. As I mentioned at the top, Lootles was for me, it was the first like head face structure that I learned that I could actually make on a gig. And I mean, your tagline for it is absolutely accurate. Like you can just literally make anything out of it because it's like this modular head structure that just depending on how you accessorize it can become anything. So tell me a little bit about
Yeah.
some of the stuff you've created and yeah, where that came from.
Yeah, no. And first off, I mean, many of us years ago, we started off with the Larry Moss head design, not video, not CD. Remember CD-ROMs? Remember back in the day we had the CD-ROMs? Well, yeah,
I remember ASCII instructions where people would actually type it out in text. Yeah.
right. And Larry came up with a head design that used a pinch twist nose that I used that head to create the Lootles from. And Larry and I, we've spoken many times about this through the years. You know, the main thing is we see a lot in our industry of people borrowing other people's designs and not really giving credit or whatnot. With Larry and I, we talked about it. I took a concept he had for just a head. I changed it up enough to make it my own head design. And then I added a body and a base and all the different accents that went with it. And, you know, it's just like in music, you know, you get influences from different people who
Right.
inspire the music, you know.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, like
we're not creating any of this stuff in a vacuum, and it's like,
no,
and
exactly.
art is so subjective. And I mean, I particularly like, I mean, I think the spin, particularly, I think the way you did the nose, if I'm correct, was kind of like one of your primary kind of changes to that
Exactly.
design. And
Yeah.
that's the thing about it that drew me to it was, oh, the nose is situated in the face in a way that just looks so natural and adorable.
Yeah, in fact, the nose itself also is what holds it into the body. The arms
Right.
hold in from the nose, the legs, and lower torso. So everything I did was modular. Because the one thing I learned from making a lot of different my designs is anytime something pops, you know, if you can't find where this 260 came from, you're going to have, you know, broken balloons or something's more going to deflate.
Right.
So I always made my balloons modular enough. So if anything did break, you knew exactly what needed to be replaced. So that's something I wanted to create. But you're right on the money. I still do to my Lootles to this day. And one of the reasons is because, I mean, we've got some amazing artists. Dave, you're an amazing artist. Phileas Flat, who can make balloons that look exactly like people. I mean, even Dan Staples did something recently, you know, and, you know, great work, amazing work. You know, someone did the Ruth, you know, Ginsburg, amazing. I can't do that kind of art.
Right.
I probably, if I spent hours doing it, but for me, I want to make something that I could say to somebody, I'm going to make you out of a balloon, make you into a balloon. And that's where the Lootles came from, because since they don't look like anybody, technically I can make everybody. Change their hair color, change what they're wearing, add one feature about them, and then boom, it's you. Oh my God, I made you into a balloon. So that's what I started from. That really got me, like you said, that was my claim to fame of starting in the balloon world or people taking notice. But the one thing I started adding to the balloons, which really crossed me over into the decorator world, was the base piece. I started using geo blossoms with some water inside to use them as a base piece. And once you added a base to it, then you now have a centerpiece for a party, decorations and whatnot. And I started doing what I call deco twisting. And I've been doing that.
Perfect segue,
many
pal.
years.
I was just gonna ask you about deco twisting because, like, I think that also is like one of the. Recently, I've been getting a lot of like folks kind of coming to me and asking me to teach, because obviously the twisters are a little bit out of luck right now. We don't really have any money to spend, but the decorators are actually kind of doing okay. And like, you know, people are asking like, can you teach stuff to decorators? And it's like, oh, I
And
mean,
you want to hear
that's
something funny, Dave? Here's something funny, and this is I didn't know this till I started teaching around the world. In the United States, since we are a very unique nation, when I started talking about a deco twister to other countries, they said, "Well, what does this deco twister do?" I said, "Oh, it's a person who does twisting, but also does decorations." In other
right.
countries, they said
Huh?
everybody does that,
Yeah.
meaning in our country, a lot of people draw the line. No, I don't do decor. I just do balloon twisting. It's like, well, what's the difference if you did a party for 2 hours where you're twisting for the kids, or you're at home making twisted pieces for decorations?
Right.
So in other countries, they don't have the term deco twisting. Just
It's like
here in the United
it's
States.
it's like a false division that we've set up ourselves, which is
Right.
and so like God, it's great that you did it, but it's annoying that we have to have that word. Like, can't we just all be balloon artists? You know?
Well, it's true. I mean, one of the things, just to throw it out there right now, we've come a long way, but we haven't come a long way in the balloon world, and I'll tell you why. Is
Mm,
because when you talk to the different manufacturers, not trying to discredit them, but we live in a world where we have things that are known as round balloons and non-round balloons. So wow, we've come a long way, and
right.
literally, that's what they call them. It's like going
Yeah.
to a steak restaurant. We have things on the menu that are steak, and we have things that are not steak. I mean,
I
so
love that.
so again, it's like rounds and non-rounds. I love that term. So
Yeah.
anyway, but yeah, no, it's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it's a factual, statement right now that people who were never wanting to be a decorator or do that kind of work or deliveries now are being forced into it, and it's not such a bad thing. They're realizing, it's like, hey, I can make that out of balloons, and
Right.
through parties. I mean, there is a big, big push right now. If you're seeing in some of the chat groups and whatnot on Facebook, there's a lot of people who are coming who are brand new, looking to get into it. And one of my pet peeves is when somebody shows up, shows a picture, and says, "Hey, not my work. How do I do it? What do I charge for it?"
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Anybody watching right now, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just trying to. I think right now we're living in what's known as like the Wild West. There are no rules.
Right.
There's no etiquette. There's no rules. There's nothing written. Our industry doesn't really have much to do with the proper way or the rules or the whatnot. So, not trying to segue into anything else. I really think we do need to really start, setting some guidelines. I think
Mm,
within our industry for people
right.
to, if you want to learn how to make balloons, great. That's wonderful. I think what's happening too is the pricing. Pricing is something I know that's bothering a lot of people because, you know, one group is saying I need to make money, and they're undercutting people who've been doing it for a long time. Professionalism, other things involved. So anyway, not trying to go on a tangent.
Right.
We can talk about that more later.
Right, right. No, yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, you're absolutely right. It's like we're not like an industry in like other industries are. Like the balloon manufacturers are an industry, but then us performers and artists are just kind of like, we're just making it up as we go along. And,
Right.
and it's people like you and teachers who like can set an example and hope, I feel like that's almost the best you can do is like just set the best example you can and hope for the best.
That's exactly it.
Maybe.
No, and don't get me wrong. I encourage anyone who wants to learn about balloons or get into balloons. Hey, it's not
Right.
my saying what they should or shouldn't do. I just think right now that it's like, we're all in this together.
Right.
And I really think there should be more of, some concrete, rules,
Yeah.
regulations,
Right.
guidelines, But
Well,
anyway,
we are all in this together. And actually, real quickly, speaking of all being in this together, I just want to feature on camera here. You guys are now on screen, those of you watching at home, so wave to the camera. Hello. This is my live studio audience. If you want to be a part of the live studio audience, I send out Eventbrite invitations over Facebook every week, so make sure you check that out. You can be right here. And the cool part about being in the live studio audience is after the show, we all hang out and we chat and just talk about whatever nonsense we want to, balloon related or not. I just want to kind of thank everybody for coming here, because honestly, this isn't just when I started this show, it was about me having a show to do something and to be able to perform or whatever and talk. And as I've done it, I realized that what matters more to me and what I've been getting more joy out of is just the hanging out with my balloon pals. Like these are the people that several times a year I pay lots of money to travel to a balloon convention and hang out with all these people. And obviously because of COVID and all kinds of other things, we can't travel. We can't go to our local balloon jams, which is a huge bummer. And so here we are, together at last, everybody. Thank you all for being here. So Robbie, I want to hear but in the pre-show time, you were talking about some fun stories about exactly that, about traveling and being with balloon friends and some interesting stuff that happened. So tell me some of your favorite tales from the past.
So I was before the show. I mean, again, most people I see online here, Jazzy, I see, Ryan, I see Jilly, Silly Jilly. Yeah, it's so great. It's so nice when I talk to people about different places and, countries. It's so great to say, oh yeah, I've been there. I've been to right now. I think I've been to about 30 different countries. Wow. Teaching balloons, which was great. I've been to 47 states right now, and I've taught in, I think, 44 of those 47 states. So
wow.
Lots of different miles on the road. So yeah, lots
That's
of stories
amazing.
to tell. But it's funny where it all started for me in the teaching world, or even in the convention world. My first convention was in 2007, Twist and Shout out in Nashville, Tennessee. And it was a great first convention for me. I still remember like it was yesterday. I remember walking up, and the first person I met was Connie Idemans. She opened the door for me, and I'm like, "Who are you?" And she helped me out. And first people I met, I sat down in the jam room, and when I got there, nobody was there. The jam room was empty except these two people, this guy and this lady sitting there. And I sit down. I even walked in with my luggage. I didn't even go check into the hotel yet. And I sit down, and at the time I said, "Hi, I'm Robbie Furman. Who are you?" And the first two people said, "Hi, I'm Don. This is my wife, Laura." And I went, the Caldwells, which, names have changed, but I went, "You guys, Don and Laura?" And then I forgot how to twist balloons. I sat there going, so that was my first, foray into the balloon world. But anyway, but Buster and Annie, great friends still after all these years. I remember that convention again, like it was yesterday, and it launched me to do so many more things. In fact, at that convention, I wasn't even sure which convention to go to that week. That same week, they had a decorator convention up in Chicago. I forgot the name of that convention, but there was that convention and Twist and Shout same weekend. And I was like, well, am I a twister or a decorator? At that time, I had my balloon shop open. So I was doing a lot of parties and decorating and also doing twisting at parties. So I literally said, I don't know which convention I should go to, decorators or twisters. So I chose the Twist and Shout, which was the right choice. Right. And I'll be honest.
I agree. No partiality here, but I 100% agree. Good, right choice.
And I met some lifelong friends there. I mean, that was the first time I ever taught a class, because what happened was we got the final night, Sunday. Everything was snowed in. So this was after the no balloon dinner, so it was like everyone's just hanging out in the lobby. And I decided, hey, I'm going to do a class. I was going to teach the Lootles. So a bunch of people were hanging out in the lobby one of them was Andy McDonald, Mac Pump. And Andy was like, "What are you going to show me?" If Andy's watching this, he'll tell the story. And he was like, "Yeah, show me something, big shot." So anyway, I remember this day, I showed him my Lootles and my different characters, the Geo base. And he goes, "Let me see that." He goes, "All right, you're cool." So I remember that was my first foray into the balloon world teaching, and I was hooked ever since.
Right.
So Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was where Jilly comes in. Jilly, I promise I tell the story. That Sunday night, I was supposed to leave, and everything got snowed in, so my flight wasn't going to be till Tuesday. That was the earliest flight I can get out. So on Monday, I'm standing in the front, not knowing what to do because my flight's not till Tuesday. So I'm standing literally by the front door with my luggage, and Jill pulls up in her car and she goes, "Hey, you need a ride?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "You going to the airport?" I said, "About there," because I couldn't go. I had a full day to go. So
Yeah.
she took me to, like, towards the airport. And then right before we got to the airport, I said, "Here's good." She goes, "Where?" I go, "This corner looks fine." She goes, "Are you sure?" So Jill dropped me off on a corner and said, she goes, "You're going to be okay?" I said, "I'll be fine." So,
Fine.
well, thank you, Jill. I still remember that after all these years. So that was my first convention in Twist and Shout, but
Yeah.
that was great.
You know, I actually Twist and Shout also had a kind of a connection. That's what I'm pretty sure Twist and Shout is the first time I met you. I know for sure I met you
Doritos.
in
Cerritos.
it was Cerritos. So here's an interesting thing. The year prior, I had just moved to Los Angeles, like maybe 8 months before that Cerritos convention. I was living in New Jersey originally, and it was in like New York or just somewhere up in the Northeast that year, and I was gonna go, and for whatever reason I didn't end up going, and I was still kind of fresh with. Well, I had been twisting for several years, but I wasn't at all involved in any of the jams or anything. I didn't even know that existed. I was just like I was a party clown, and I just learned the basics. When I moved to LA and started going to the jams down there and told people I was from New Jersey, everyone was like, "Oh, so you know Robbie Furman?" And I was like, "I don't know anybody. Who are you talking about? What?" And literally every person that I told I was from New Jersey said, "Oh, you must know Robbie Furman." So by the time I did actually meet you, I was like, I have to know who you are right now.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember watching you. This is how I remember things. I remember you had a different name you were going by, if I'm not mistaken.
I
Your former
was
name,
I was
Chester.
still oh yeah, I was Chester the Jester. That's right.
Chester the Jester. And I
Oh
even
God.
believe you taught a class
Yep.
on Sunday in the lobby on the couches. See, I
Yeah.
remember these things. I
Yes.
remember sitting at lunch with you, with Royal Sorrell was there, you and I, Royal, a bunch of other people. So I
Yeah.
remember stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was my favorite thing about Twist and Shout is the fact that they give that opportunity to whoever wants to on Sundays to say, hey, if you want to teach a class, give it a try. And it's great because it gives you a chance to like try and potentially fail, and it doesn't matter because nobody
Right.
paid you to be there. And then if you did good, then you probably got attention, which I did. And eventually, a couple of years later, they asked me to teach, which was, well, or rather, I badgered them to let me teach, and then they finally did. But yeah, it was great.
No, Dave, you were, I mean, again, what I remember from you from the very beginning, a lot of the stuff you did when you were first coming out, your stuff was like many other people, I believe. Stop me if I'm wrong here. You
Yeah.
were doing a lot of, Jack Matson's style, or let's say
Buster,
Malou.
Jack Matson, and like Patrick Vanderben, 100% were
Right,
like,
right.
I
Oh
was
yeah.
steeped in that. Yeah.
But I was at Millennium Jam when you were there, and you made the most amazing squirrel for the iron latex competition.
Yes.
And I remember it was a big scandal. I know all about that's another story, another day. But what you made, you did the frumple twist. I believe for the first time the industry ever seen anything like this. You took a Geo donut
Yeah.
and frumple twisted that thing into the tail of a squirrel that the whole room was like a buzz.
Right.
And you should have won that year. I voted for you. Everyone that year was a little bit shady, but anyway,
there was a lot of shady stuff going on there, but
yeah.
yeah.
But that was the breakout for me, where you're one of the people who really took the industry to the next level. Buster told me something years ago. When I first started teaching, he said, lead from the front. Okay. Told me that, said, if you're going to be, doing things in the industry to help move the lead from the front. And I'll be honest, you were one of the instrumental people that started changing things around how balloons were looked at. Really, don't get me wrong.
Oh,
A
thank you,
lot of
pal.
people previously were taking balloons and twisting them and weaving them and stuff. You were one of the first people to really push the envelope. And don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a lot of people who, have come before and come after who put, but you at the time, and again, I'm going to date it. It's roughly about 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember seeing a Buster Shark design that you, Dave, branded and made it into your own design.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is what stands out. And again, I like watching the industry move and grow. I mean, and we get every 5 or so years, we really take a jump. And again, what you were doing, cutting edge. And I love seeing how you went into the deco twisting world yourself, teaching at the conventions. I mean, I still love seeing the Geo Blossom style centerpieces you made.
Yeah.
Great stuff. I mean, this is what it's about, is taking it to the next level. So you really,
Thank you.
I commend you for all that. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, and like you said, I mean, getting advice from people like Buster, I think that's what is so exciting about what we do, is that you can, build on what people teach you. And actually, it was a bit of advice from Buster, I think, that led to that squirrel, because something that he said was, I can't remember the exact phrasing that he said, but he said, take something from the kit, just to kind of let people know the Iron Latex Man competition. Essentially, you get a bag full of just a random balloons, and everybody in the competition has the same exact balloons that you do, but you don't know what's in the bag. And he said something like, whatever weird balloon is in there, like, start with that one and do something to it to make it look different. And like, that was such a good piece of advice, because if you looked around, like, everyone else was like, well, what's this Geo donut? I guess I'll just make it the base, or I'll just blow it up and like have it be what it is and then attach things to it. And I was like, nope, I have to do something different. I got to take this thing that already exists and kind of transform it, which I think is kind of the philosophy that I took to all of the art. Is I just like absorbed all of these creators and all of the styles that they were doing, and I was like, well, how can I absorb this and then recycle it and put it out in a different way?
It was great. It really, I tell you, again, it was one of those cutting edges. I mean, a lot of times through the balloon world, well, I hate to say this, my feeling of amazement, don't get me wrong, we get neutralized or numb to this a lot of times. I mean, I'm seeing things out of Russia now, or I'm sorry, seeing stuff out of Russia 2 years ago going,
yeah,
oh my God, is that a balloon?
Right?
No way. That's at a level I'm talking. Now I see the same person from Russia doing it. I'm like, yep, that's them. Don't even have to look at it, because I've seen it so many times. They're amazing.
Yeah.
But that's what you expect from these different people from Russia, doing.
Yeah, and that new stuff, like, it's like a lot of of the double, or what do you call it? Distortion techniques and stuff that were just like, wow. And they're not, because like, I think the thing that's amazing is distortion techniques were previously something limited strictly to competition pieces. And now you're seeing all of these people, and this is actual work that they're selling to clients, which is just insane. And I don't even know what to expect. Like, what can possibly come after that?
I think, well, that's just it. That's a good question.
What's your like 5-year prediction for what is going to happen in the balloon industry?
Well, that's a good question. Right now, well, let's just see here. I mean, as many people in the group here, I'm sure they've seen it. We're still hearing from people. You go to a party, and we're doing a hitchhiker alien.
Right.
Double stuffing that alien head. Oh my God, you're amazing.
Yeah.
You're like, for this? It's like, is that a hairband? Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, so, but I think the world of balloon, or people in the regular world, as I think Annie Benani told me, what they're called is muggles. The muggles, right? Non-balloon people, the muggles, still have no idea what the capability of balloons are. I see, in terms of what's changing, in terms of, I think for me, what it needs to be is, and this is a perfect timing, I think people need to sharpen their axe or put more quivers or arrows in their quiver, in terms of learning everything you can,
Right.
not holding back to the old ways of doing one type of balloons. I think what's happening is for those who want to survive in the balloon world, I think they need to start really sharpening their skills and learning as much as they possibly can. With that being said, one of the things that bothers me a little bit is there's not enough education out there that's
Mm.
diverse. Right now, don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing the type of education, but we're seeing a lot of um, classes on things like organics, which is great. It's something great to learn, but we're not seeing enough technique classes. In fact, I believe you and Buster and other people too have moved away when they were teaching from doing recipe classes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving more into theory. Let's talk about what do you think you can do from this. But for me, I think what we need, and this is going back to my concept in the beginning, we don't have any rules and regulations. We don't have a textbook. We don't have a book. I mean, we've got, different designs. Lots of people have DVDs on designs, but where are the techniques? Where is the history? Where is,
Yeah.
in terms of a catalog of the different styles of weaving and whatnot? I mean, this is something where, I was hoping we would have, but unfortunately, we don't have anything like this. And this is something where I personally would like to see done. I'm working on my own areas of trying to make this happen.
Right.
But as far as 5 years from now, you know what? This is the first time I think in my life where I'm lost for words.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's going. And I think this is something critical,
Mm.
for in terms of, I don't believe people are going to be able to charge what they used to charge
Right.
for parties. I think we might be coming down to earth a little bit. As they say, the party might be over. And the
Right.
reason being is I believe that we're reforming, we're relaunching. Once the parties start opening up again, I just think there's people out there going to be undercutting everybody. So,
Yeah.
uh, I mean, I'm sorry I'm answering the question is where the industry going, but um, I'll be honest, I have no clue. I have no clue what
Right.
people are willing or wanting to do to keep their. Well, again, I'm getting off topic here,
Well, no,
but
I mean it's yeah. I'm dealing with the same exact struggle because I mean my entire career has been birthday parties. I never really went in much for decor, and I dabbled in it a little bit at the start of the pandemic, trying to do it, but it wasn't really for me. Mostly because I don't enjoy what I learned about myself actually during the pandemic is I don't actually enjoy the process of making balloons. Like that's not the thing that gets me excited. What gets me excited is the reactions from an audience and seeing people's eyes light up, and seeing what happens when a kid gets a balloon in their hands and they transform. And like that just wasn't possible. That was never possible with decor because you just kind of set it up and you go. And it's particularly difficult. Like I even tried to do a couple of like Zoom shows where I'm making balloons. I can't hold a candle to what Shayna Sharp is doing, which, by the way, if you guys are not watching Balloon Request Live, you should
that's
be
it.
watching Balloon Request Live. Side note, Shayna Sharp is uh, absolutely the best balloon improviser in the world today. I can say she'll try to hem and haw and say, oh, but my technique isn't perfect, blah blah blah. That does She can like take anything and she can really way better than I ever was able to just say, yeah, I can make that and I'll try and I'll make that.
Yeah,
But
she's great. I watched her show a couple times. It's amazing. It's fun. I
isn't it
see it
great?
afterwards.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Um, so what I mean, something I'm trying to do now, and this will be a little bit of a plug for my current endeavor, which is Family Balloon Night, which is a service that I'm offering to parents who are, we're all stuck at home. We don't have the typical means of entertaining ourselves that we used to. And parents are also just bogged down now with having to be teacher and recess monitor and entertainment director for their kids. And it's just like, they're pulling their hair out. And, yeah, I could like do a show for them, but then the show is over and then they have to go back to their regular life. So what I'm doing with Family Balloon Night is I've got a kit that has balloons and clown noses and pumps and all the stuff that you need. And then I have a live Zoom meeting with them and teach the parents and the kids together how to make balloon art, which for me, it's the balloons, again, the balloons are almost like secondary. This is something actually a philosophy that Larry Moss also taught me, which is for him, balloons were always secondary, and the primary thing for him was the creation of art. So for me, like the balloons were just a means of getting people to interact with each other and to bond. And so that's, for me, that is what my next couple of years at least is going to look like, because I don't think parties are going to come back in any appreciable way, which is, it is what it is.
Right. And that's something where, I don't want to be the guy in the room downer or whatnot in terms of, I think a lot of us in the industry do what we want to do, not always what we need to do. And fortunately and unfortunately, we're living the lives by our, direction. We're walking to the beat of our own drum. That's great, except, for me, I left the industry for a couple of years to work on another career. And I'm glad to be back now. Still have that other career. I was in the insurance business for many years.
I am also glad you're back. I was very sad. I mean, I did not fault you at all, because from the small details I heard, it was a very profitable company to be a part of. So I get it, but we're glad to have you back.
Oh yeah, no, I'm happy to be back. I mean, my goal was in 2009. Well, actually, my goal was when I left was to spend. Sorry, plane overhead.
All right.
But my goal was to leave the industry in 2014. My last teaching convention, ironically enough, interesting, was Twist and Shout. I taught at Twist and Shout, and I literally in 2014 said goodbye, and I gave myself 10 years to really stay in the insurance business to build up both a nest egg and also to help my family out. My father needed help in the business. Well, lo and behold, my father retired from the insurance business. I fell into a lucrative job, got a chance to travel the country, go to different places doing insurance. It wasn't balloons, now it's insurance. I was teaching insurance and things. So anyway, long and the short of it is, after 5 years, I said, once that's done, I'm done. I'm going to go back to the balloons. Yeah. And that's what I did. I quit my job, sold my car, moved into an RV, and started traveling around. So that was 2019, and things didn't all go according to plan. That's when I had my open heart surgery. I ended up having some other personal things happen to me during 2019. But anyway, long story short, 2020 started, and I said, this is the year. It's going to be great.
Oh, no.
So anyway, it's but it is 2020, 2019. One of the things I just want to share for those who don't know, I'm in a loving relationship. I've been in a relationship with this wonderful, amazing person who's in the balloon industry. She's in the balloon industry. And we have been living together for going on 10 months now. Nice. She's an amazing person, and privately message. I'll tell you who she is.
Okay,
but,
it's a secret.
She's got it, but no secret. But she's I don't know if I had permission to tell. No, she did give me permission. But yeah, her name is Elizabeth Peterson. She goes by Liza Doodle on Facebook. I
know Liza.
Yep, she owns a company called Bada Boom Stickers. Yep, so we've been together now for 10 months. And I love her to death. And I've been living here in right near Disneyland. I'm about 7 miles out of Disney. So
that's great. Oh yeah, I know Liza well. I used to go to the SoCal Balloon Jams, and she was always there. Oh, that makes me so happy, pal. She's delightful. You're delightful. That's great. Is she there?
She's in the other room making dinner right now.
Okay.
Can you hear us? She hears us. Okay.
Hi,
She's on the Zoom
Liza.
call too.
Oh, that's wonderful.
She's there, everyone. She's watching. But yeah,
Nice.
no, life is great. Life was great. I mean, she's really helped me through some bad times in my life. And yeah, I'm happy to be, again, I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be here talking to this great group of people. Everyone but Jeremy Johnson, I'm really happy to see. Really, really. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? Sarah, let's see. Hey there, Jeremy. Is he still there?
Where? There he is.
Wait, they're dressed as a pirate. Is it dressed as a pirate day?
Yar.
Yes, Jeremy, it's good to see you. But hi, Lauren. Sorry, I digress. But
I love it.
no, but Dave, I'll tell you what you're doing here on this show. This is, you know what? I think it's amazing that the pandemic did stop so many things for so many people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, what good things came out of it, you know? And I think that's, I mean, Elizabeth always asks that to everybody she meets at the grocery store, new people. What one thing positive has come out of the pandemic?
That's a great question. Yeah.
And for me, it is, I've always wanted to gain 20 pounds. Wow.
Good job, pal.
Nailed it. I tell you. So anyway, I'm on this. I'm on a new diet right now. No, but I've been trying. And again, Lisa McIntyre's on the phone. She helped me when I was going through a bad time. Yep, she was my coach. I was on a program. Yep, and she helped me through this. It was amazing. Got me to my next plateau in life. But yeah, I mean, everybody here, it's amazing. You know, when you look at our web, in fact, one of the things I'm working on, I was mentioning about, I'm looking to put some structure down, you know, in terms of just some guidelines, you know, no rules. I don't want to enforce rules and regulations, but just guidelines in terms of, hey, if we're all going to work together, let's think about these are the common courtesy things we should be doing or not. Because again, I'm not faulting people. People don't realize
they just don't know.
They don't know because there's no rule book or anything to reference that tells them what they should and shouldn't be doing. And we're hearing it from businesses are popping up and, you know, and they're, you know, undercutting other people. And, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. We live in a free country that allows that. But anything, one of the things I'm looking to do is, in fact, I just spoke to somebody just the other day, a gentleman by the name of Tim Glander. And now many people probably don't know Tim, but Tim is good friends with some people who are like Jimmy Davis. I don't know if that name rings bell.
No.
A couple other guys. These are the guys back in the 70s that were writing the first balloon books. Okay.
Okay.
Like the One Balloon Zoo. There's a book called The One Balloon Zoo.
Oh yeah, I know
Roger
that one.
Siegel. Tim Glander's very good friend. Roger Siegel, who was one of the originators of many of the things. He predates Ralph Dewey. Okay. Roger, he's still around twisting balloons.
Get out.
You know? So there are people who are, you know, our predecessors that are still there, who are the ones that helped us get to where we are. So one of the things, my projects I'm working on is the timeline in terms of, you know, looking at the whole picture, you know, not just from one balloon company necessarily, but from the whole big picture. You know, what year did 160s come out?
Right.
You know, what year did this company, Ashland Balloon Company, back in Ohio, what year did they make balloons? You know, who was doing what then? And even us, where do we fit into the timeline? When did we start balloons? And who was our influences? You know, who helped us get started? How did you learn about balloons? You know, so again, I mean, there's
I can just picture that flow chart. I want to hang that on my wall.
It's going to be. I'm trying to find a program to do it easily, but and again, even I would love to do. You know, it's funny. I did go on to one of the manufacturers' websites or Facebook groups, 25,000 members, and I'm like, wow, there's 25,000 balloon people out there. Apparently so. I mean, I know we had somebody in the balloon industry just hit 100,000 followers on Instagram or Facebook or something like that.
Right.
Wow, I'm amazed. I'm amazed. It's, who are these people? Where are they? Oh,
Yeah.
Jazzy's holding something. Nice balloon. Dog balloon. I love it.
Oh, Jazzy. Rad.
I like that. That's awesome. That's
Nice.
perfect. So now when kids want a balloon dog, you're like, yep, there you go.
Here you go.
There you go.
Awesome.
But anyway, but no, I mean, I can tell you,
I think that's a great project because I think all the time of like, we used to have Balloon HQ, which was like
right.
where I kind of first started like really getting into balloons, and you could kind of track it just through that because you can go back into the archive and you could see
right.
all these artists, and then you could see new artists coming in. I definitely came in, probably around like 2008 or 9, started posting stuff in there. And yeah, it's just a great resource to have to understand what your community looks like and how it developed.
Exactly. In fact, I started a Facebook group just recently called I Love Balloon HQ. And I'm just gearing up doing a
great.
Yeah. So it's just I guess you call it a tribute, or what is it? I forgot the word, but basically it's a what?
A cover band?
Homage. Yeah, it's a cover band.
Homage.
It's basically, it's just basically a fan group. That's what it is. A fan group of Balloon HQ. Because you know what? You're right. You hit the nail on the head, Dave. Balloon HQ was the one place where we all got together. If something was going on, you check Balloon HQ. And this is the funniest thing. Before Facebook was something where you would check 90 times a day, I was the guy on on Balloon HQ every 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
But what's update? Any new pictures? What's the chat? What's going on? You have to go into the picture to see the chat on that picture, who was doing whatnot. And I loved it. I loved it because this was my tie-in to the rest of the world, the balloon people.
Right.
All my friends across the country.
The feed wasn't like edited by some algorithm. It was like literally what people were posting right now, and you got to see the whole thing.
Oh, it was great. I loved it. I miss it. And in fact, that's the thing right now. It's you go on Facebook, someone says, "Oh my God, did you see that there's something going on Facebook?" Where? Yeah. Which group? Let me go in.
Yeah.
And you start searching around. So that's something there. But no, I mean, when I'm trying to get the light just right here, I got a light on me. I'm in the dark. I'm sitting outside right now.
It's perfect. You look like you're in an interrogation. It's perfect.
That's it. Exactly. That's what I like. But I can tell everyone. I mean, when I started teaching, I got lucky because at Twist and Shout in 2007, that was really the pivotal point for me. I got there and I told you I was going to go to one convention for decorators or Twist and Shout. Well, at that Twist and Shout, I met a guy named Alberto Falcone. Alberto Falcone, international balloon artist from Italy. He was there with another friend of his named Alberto Nava. So 2 for the price of 1, things that changed my life. I met Alberto Falcone and I met Alberto Nava. Well, the funny thing is, Alberto Falcone, he was teaching a lot at different international conventions. And at Twist and Shout, I happened to have a book of all my different work that I did. And Alberto Falcone took a look at it and he said, "This is great work. You should come to Italy and teach." I said, "Send me a ticket and I'll come to Italy and teach."
Yeah.
And they did. And And that was the best.
That's amazing.
So a year later, I'm teaching in Italy. So it was crazy. And then from there, I had a chance to teach in Italy in 2009. It was actually a year and a half later. In 2009, I was teaching there in February. And then I came back in 2010. Well, in 2010, many of you remember, I had the taste for really doing a lot of teaching. So I was looking for a tour partner to drive around the country on the T-Jam tour. And I'm looking for somebody who wants to come and spend 3 months in a car with me. And nobody would want to do it. Can you imagine that?
And Alberto Nava became your hetero life mate at that time.
Well, that's what happened. So funny. I was in Italy and in February, and I was looking for this tour partner. I had a couple of people in mind. But long story short is I said, "Hey, Alberto, how are you? Haven't seen you. What's going on?" He goes, "Hey, Robbie, I was going to contact you. I'm coming to the U.S. this summer, and I'm going to do a tour for about a month.
Yeah.
I said, you are? How would you like to tour for 3 months? He said, what do you mean? I said, you come to the U.S., and we'll teach together all around the country, and we're going to, be a great. He goes, let me think about it. He thought about it. He got back. Let's do it. So we put this together. And originally, he was just going to be my assistant, and I told the joke that I said to Alberto, because what it was is Alberto Nava was the upcoming artist, and Alberto Falcone was the big artist.
Right.
So people used to call Alberto Nava the other Alberto.
Right.
So I wasn't really a very, it was a little bit, not respectful, or not, give a guy respect where it's due. So I told Alberto, if you come to the U.S. and teach with me for 3 months, I promise you will be not known as the other Alberto ever again.
Yeah.
From now on, you'll be known as Robbie's assistant. So I felt
and the rest is history.
A step up. But that's where the best thing of all came. Just real quick, I'm going to keep talking.
No,
but that's where you were at one of the classes. I remember.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and Alberto, it's funny. It's like, if anyone who ever remember the Tracy Ullman show, people don't remember the Tracy Ullman show, but what do you remember from the Tracy Ullman show was The Simpsons. The
Simpsons,
came out of the Tracy Ullman show.
Yep.
So I bet anybody in this group right now, if you can remember what I taught in the class, I'll pay you $2. But no. But
I apologize that I don't, because, man, those hair bands. Yeah.
The hair bands.
Yeah.
Alberto told me, he goes, I got a new concept I want to teach along on the road. And I'm like, okay, what is it? Oh, no, it's going to be big. Okay. So anyway, we traveled to 42 cities together across the U.S. during those 3 months, and every single class blew everybody out of the water. It changed our industry.
That absolutely changed our industry. It changed the way that people interact with our balloons, like, in such a fundamental way. Robbie, I'm sure that there are like a boatload of stories just from your years of touring with Alberto Nava. I'd love to have you back on someday to tell us more of those stories. Will you come back?
Absolutely.
Amazing. Awesome. Thank you to everybody who watched. We're going to wrap up the show here in just a minute. But first, I want to thank you all for coming. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this on repeat on YouTube, check out my Facebook page. Links are down in the description. I send out Eventbrite links every week to come and join the show. If you miss your balloon family as much as I do, the Dave Brent Show is right for you. Thank you again for watching. Thank you again to Robbie Furman for being here. Thank you, Robbie. Let's give one more wave. Thanks, pal. Thanks to all of my audience members watching. Hey, everybody. I love you all. Mwah, mwah. And in case you're wondering, yes, indeed, I can make my own talk show. Who knew? Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later.
Thanks, Dave.
And we did it! Yay!
Check the gate.
Successful show! Woo!